friends get together so they can try things. You're invited to this podcast so that you can try things. And we will stop singing so that we can all now try this.
Hello and welcome to Now Try This, the podcast where two best friends get together every week to talk about their favorite things. I'm Marcus. That's Nick. But Nick, this week's different. Why is it different?
Marcus, I'm pissed.
Why? Is that how you start every episode?
These last two, it's how I'm going to, because I'm mad. It's still the same timeline. Guys, if you listen to our mini episode and you're back, hey, it doesn't, still says recipe for seduction. It doesn't on my end. Refresh your browser, Daron. Listen, all I'm saying is I am mad because every month we stop doing the awesome conceit of our show of giving each other something that we love, right?
Yes.
Once a month, we're like, nah, let's forgo our friendship and let's give back to the fans.
That's what we want. We want to give back to the fans. We are tired. Yeah. We are just feeding into an echo chamber. We're always going to be like things I like, things you like, things I like, but to broaden our horizons, to open our minds to new things we would have never conceived before.
Never.
We opened it up to the patrons, to the fans.
Like we do every month.
Yeah, like every month.
And last month, oh my God, we got Chucky. So
great.
Pleasantly surprised.
One of the best shows on TV right now.
Before that, ReZero, one of our favorite animes now. It was
great.
So interesting. It was so different.
Totally worth watching. Still watching it today.
This week, we got a tie for A Recipe for Seduction and Orphan Black. But thank God, Recipe for Seduction is over, guys. Go listen to our episode on the Colonel Sanders Lifetime movie. Go check it out. You can hear us be pissed, but finally, Marcus, a respite. Because we got the critically acclaimed series, the BBC show starring Tatiana Maslany, Orphan Black.
Orphan Black. Nick, I did not know much about this show going into it. I knew that it was a good show, is what people said. A highly recommended sci-fi series. But I'd never watched it, and I honestly had no interest in it.
Every once in a while, the patrons hit on a show or a movie that's on my list of things to give you. And once again, they did me right. This has been on my list of things to give you. Just waiting for the right time, waiting for a lull, or maybe it got renewed again or something. I watched this show when it was coming out, way back when. I never finished it. I watched 2 or 3 seasons. I never finished it because I was watching it live, and I think it was during college or right after college or around college, so I was distracted. But I loved it. I thought it was great. I very much enjoy it. I think the lead is awesome. I was a fan of the show. But Marcus, you are a television movie person. You know what's going on in pop culture. So when there's hype for a show like Orphan Black, you hear it. You know about it.
Yeah.
And yet you had no interest. Why is that?
Something about it being a BBC show just kind of made it one step harder to watch.
Yeah, I get that.
You know?
Do you have a lot of experience with any BBC's things in a positive way?
We've done Sherlock, which I didn't like.
You didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it. That is correct.
It wasn't your jam.
But it wasn't my jam.
Too British.
It was too British.
Too British, if I remember.
It was also too up its own ass a little bit for me. It was like
so British. It's too British.
I watched Doctor Who. I really liked Matt Smith's run as the Doctor. That was pretty good.
You watched a lot of Doctor Who?
I've only watched Matt Smith's run. That's all I've ever watched.
I watched 2 episodes and I hated them both, so I have never watched any more. I watched the first episode from the guy from Thor, and I watched 1 episode with David Tennant, and both episodes like, what the fuck is this show? I ain't watching this show.
I was gonna give you Doctor Who at one point in us doing this podcast, and then I was like, let me rewatch it. I was like, I'm gonna watch it and see how I feel about it. And I watched it, and I was like, and I watched my favorite episode. It was the Weeping Angels episode of Matt Smith's series.
I hear that's a good one.
It was so fucking great. I would have sworn to you that it's some of the best television. Period.
Would have.
I rewatched it. And I was like, this shit sucks. This is a bad show. Why did I like this? I was stupid. So then I decided, I was like, you know what? We're going to forget that I ever liked Doctor Who, and we're going to bury that deep underground.
Doctor Who just seems like a too British Buffy or something, you know? Like something campy and silly like that, but it's too British.
Yeah. I liked Matt Smith's season. It was great. I after rewatching what I thought was the best episode and not liking it, I was like, I can't defend the show forever.
Smith, have you seen the new film Last Night in Soho?
No, I haven't.
Well, you didn't ask me what I've been doing, Marcus, but what I have been doing is I watched that film.
Well, you normally ask me, and then I asked you.
It was really, really interesting. I don't know if I liked it. I don't know if it was good. I need to watch it again.
Yeah, wow.
It was weird. It was not what I was expecting. I thought it was like a different time kind of period piece by Edgar Wright, where it'd be about like some ingenue, like living in the big city of London and trying to figure out the bloody hell cryptids and
whatever that is.
It's not what it was. It was a whodunit horror movie.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It was, but I didn't know that. So you know when you think a movie is one thing, and then you go in and watch, and you're like, "What is this film?"
Yeah, you're just not prepared for it,
and it takes you till the end to realize what film it was. So I need to rewatch it. That's my own fault. It's because I don't watch trailers.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, that's the downfall of not watching trailers.
That is the downfall.
Because
it usually will spell it out for you, but that's also kind of a shitty thing. But I don't know if I would argue that maybe the trailers didn't necessarily show you that either.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
what I was describing is what it sounded like to you.
I watched a trailer and it kind of seemed like, I don't know what this is. Like it just seemed like a weird movie, but I was willing to go into it.
But it's got our girl Anya Taylor-Joy. Guys, let's check out our Queen's Gambit episode.
Yeah, always be plugging. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, always be plugging. So, Marcus, what have you been up to? Have you tried anything new?
What have I been up to? I had an answer for this, I swear, but I
can come back to you later. I could skip you.
Thanksgiving, right? I ate turkey. That's not new. I made potato salad. That's not new. I played
You
VR
make a mean
chat.
potato salad. You're very proud.
I played VR chat for the first time.
Isn't that you're just like a deformed Knuckles and you go say, "This is the way"?
That is how some people play. But I would argue that maybe that's not how everyone plays anymore. But you put on your VR headset and you just go talk to strangers and you play mini games and it's fun. It wasn't fun because my nephew was yelling at me the whole time because it's like, you're doing it wrong. And I was like, I am an adult and you will not yell at me this way.
Well, it sounds like you had a good time on Thanksgiving. I also had a great time. But Marcus, we are here to talk Orphan Black.
Orphan Black.
This was given to us by... I forgot the username. It was Daron.
It was Daron.
I forget. Producer Daron gave this to us.
You know what? Shout out to Daron because she's there every month holding it down. And she does a great job producing and helping us out. But also,
there's a lot behind the scenes that you guys will never see and never know about.
Yes.
And she keeps us honest.
She's wonderful
and clean. She had to clean up shit right before the show. You guys didn't see it, but she is involved. All right.
Yeah, she's very involved. Also, man, I completely forgot what I was going to say about Daron. Oh, she recommended this. She's been trying really hard on the Patreon to get her things to win. And it's been a struggle. And it's been interesting seeing who votes for what and the betrayals and the allegiances that form over on our Patreon. So if you want to be a part of it, join our Patreon.
And if you want to be like some people, I'm not calling out names, Daron, you can totally tell your friends to sign up for the Patreon to vote for your things. That is totally encouraged. Totally do it. Totally go for it. Honestly, I voted for Daron's thing this week. I love Orphan Black. Yeah, I love Orphan Black. It's great. So she said we had to watch the first 3 episodes. Marcus, you watched 3 episodes?
Yes. Also, Patreon note, if you get up to, we're trying to get up to 30 to do sticker giveaway for people. Oh, so right now we're at 20, which is pretty good. And we're holding strong. We're holding strong, guys. The people that come, they don't leave. They love it. So join the community.
The only people to leave our Patreon so far has been my ex-girlfriend. Guys, you are in good company. Come on over. Come on over. Come on over,
It has
baby.
been one person, and it was your ex. Yes.
Listen, guys, if you join the Patreon, I promise not to break your heart too.
There you go. Nick won't sleep with you unless you join the what tier?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. That's not what I said. I said I wouldn't break your heart.
Sleep with the patrons. Okay, fair enough. It's open, guys. Hey, no, legally we can't say this, but I'm gonna say it. There's a chance that if you're a patron, we could sleep with you.
There's always a chance, Marcus. There's always a chance.
Hey, technically it's already happening.
So Orphan Black is honestly, I didn't know this until right now in this moment when I'm about to read this. Orphan Black is a Canadian sci-fi thriller television series. Nope. Created by screenwriter Graham Manson and director John Fassett and starring Tatiana. Why do I know the name John Fassett?
I don't know. But while you're trying to find that out, I will say I was curious because it's a BBC show and I was wondering where it took place. And so then I started looking for clues. and they very much say Canadian locations. All the license plates say Ontario, and
I noticed that.
Canada. It is Canada.
That's so funny. I saw that one of the things said Ontario, and I just thought that was like an Easter egg. Like, oh, Beth was from Canada originally.
Nice.
So dumb.
Nice.
So the series focuses on Sarah Manning, one of several genetically identical human clones, spoilers, and later on some other clones. The series raises issues about the moral and ethical implications of human cloning and its effect on identity. Marcus, did you know this was a clone show before you watched it?
I assumed it was a clone show because
right away.
The poster is her and other faces that look like her.
Damn, that's a shame. Because back in the day when I first watched this, I didn't know what it was. I just knew it was a brand new TV show that everyone was raving about, and I had fucking LimeWire at the time, so I downloaded everything.
Oh, wow.
And I tried it, and I was like, clones!
That's pretty cool. I didn't know what it was. Actually going into it, I still didn't really know. I was joking about the poster because I only saw that recently when I was trying to make something to post for the thing today. But I went into it, and once they were like, oh, there's another one of her, I was like, okay, it's clones. It's not a twin sister. It's like, it's definitely going to be clones.
But the show does play it off, I think, in a really nice slow burn way of it being a murder mystery thing. You don't know it's sci-fi for a while, where it's like a murder mystery. You see, so the conceit of the main episodes, the very beginning, this is just to start us off, is what would you do if you walked onto a train station and you saw someone who looks like you kill themselves?
Yeah.
Great question. Shows and movies have been based off of way less, right?
100%.
And I'm sure that nugget was like the premise to like get them started.
Yes. Yeah. A woman standing on a train platform, she sees herself jump from the off and get hit by a train. And you're like, okay, let's follow this thread and see where it goes. That's how the show works. And it's beautiful. It works really well for that.
Before we even get into Sarah and what happens in the show, Marcus, what would you do? You walk on the train, you see yourself, someone that looks just like you. They give you a look like this.
And then they jump?
And then they jump.
Okay, first off, I take their clothes and their stuff. I see what the drip is like. If the drip is fresh, I'm grabbing it. I'm grabbing those clothes. And then I'm adopting that style going forward, because honestly, it's hard to shop and it's hard to figure out a good style for yourself. So if someone else did that work already, then like, let's go. I have the same problem with finding a haircut, right?
You were so dumb.
What are you talking about? And then I take all their stuff, and then I'm like, free stuff that I know is gonna fit me.
I'm talking about the existential dread. Like, what do you do? How do you feel?
I have size 14 shoes. If those shoes fit, I'm going places in them. Existential dread wise, I will be like, man, that's weird. And then I will do this. I could see myself doing the same things this character's doing. I want to figure out like who, what, when, where, why, and how.
You find out that Sarah is maybe not the most honest of characters off the bat. You know, you find out she's a troubled person who is estranged from her kid and she makes morally gray decisions. But I don't think anyone could not be on her side at this moment. Like, what else do you do besides take the bag and try to figure out what the fuck's going on, right?
Yeah.
Like, you got to, you know? At one point, Lexi, we were watching and she was like, what is she doing? I was like, well, what did you do? I asked her the same question I just asked you. And she said, I'd get the fuck out of there. And I was like, no, you wouldn't. You would need to know. And she was like, yeah, I would need to know. You would need to know.
Yeah, you would need to know. I totally see myself doing the same exact thing.
Yeah. So what did she do? What happened in the show?
So she grabbed her shit, right? She went through her purse or bag.
Well, Sarah grabbed the purse and ran.
Okay, she grabbed the bag and ran.
She got the fuck out of there. She's smart.
She eventually ends up going through it and like pulling on the strings of this mystery a little bit and opening the boxes
right away. Gets the license, get the keys, and goes to the house.
Yeah, and she is trying to escape her life too. So this is a great opportunity that's kind of fallen on her lap, where she's like, she gets the idea where she's like, hey, I could fake my own death and get away and just live this other person's life. And then she eventually discovers that that's harder to do than she originally thought. But I like that as a premise, and it's really interesting.
And I think the thing that this show does better than I think most, and I think it's a hard thing to nail, and I don't think that the show always nails it. Spoiler alert, sometimes it nails it, sometimes it doesn't. But
I agree.
For a thriller to work in anything, in a movie, in a TV show, the amount that the faucet is turned open, how much is dripping out at a time is super important.
Yeah.
Right? Because if it's so tight and nothing's coming out, then you're confused. You don't know what's going on. You're upset. If it's too open, then everything's flooding and then there's no mystery. There's no thing.
Yeah.
But this show does a really good job of every time you think it's about to answer a question, it half answers it and gives you another question.
Yes.
And they do that again and again and again and again throughout the whole show.
Yes. I feel like it's sort of like a trope now to mention J.J. Abrams' mystery box TED Talk thing.
Oh, sure.
But it is good storytelling and it makes for a great thriller.
Wow. I mean, this show literally does that, right? Again and again and again, right?
Yeah, it does. It follows the mystery box formula. And there's nothing wrong with that. It works well.
No, I agree. So you'll have to remind me as we were talking about these 3 episodes because, spoiler alert, I watched these 3 episodes with Lexi. And then and the whole time she looked pissed.
Really?
She was pissed at the show. She didn't understand like what was happening, and she was mad at the mystery. She was mad she didn't have any answers. And then we finished the 3rd episode, and she was like, and we were sitting there, and she was like, I don't know, put on that fucking the clone shit. I was like, we only had to watch 3 episodes. She's like, yeah, but I like want to know what happens. Okay. We watched the 4th episode.
Put on that clone shit.
Let's watch the show. I was like, it's called Orphan Black. I think you like it. She's like, just put that on. We watched the first season.
Shut up and put it on. We watched the first season?
We watched the first season because she could not stop watching.
That's crazy.
I'm pretty good about stopping just because, I ain't got time.
Yeah, that's true.
But we were quarantined this week. So she was like, we're watching this whole fucking first season. She was hooked.
That's
was
kind of awesome.
Yeah,
I respect it.
Usually doesn't happen.
I respect it.
So you'll have to remind me of where like things end up. But
I will say that 3rd episode ends with the Russian
Helena, right?
clone being introduced. That's how it ends.
Helena.
So just for your memory, that's kind of the last thing we'll get
Helena.
up to.
Love
Elena's her name?
Helena, yeah.
Helena. Okay, yeah, she does a great job. Let me see. I just opened up the episode now, so I'm kind of scrubbing through it
so
just to make sure I don't miss
Sarah
anything.
is going through finding out about her life right away. One of the first things you find out is she has $75K in the bank cold right now, and she's like, that's goal number 1. I get the fucking money.
Yeah,
and that just leads her down a path of more and more stuff. And then you find out Beth, the person she's impersonating, the twin, was a cop. I remember when that happened, I was just like, fuck.
I know. It's like,
sucks.
Oh no. I mean, hey, being a copy doesn't require that much education, and it doesn't honestly seem that difficult. So
clearly
there's like a few study things you should probably do, like know the codes and learn how to fire a gun. And then honestly, after that, there's not that much else.
I think one of my favorite things about the show is Tatiana Maslany's Sarah Manning is like intrinsically, you know what? I love, let me phrase this differently. All the characters that she plays are all very smart in very different ways. It's clear that she has a high intellect, these clones, but they have done different things with them.
Yes.
Like Kazmina, she's a fucking scientist. Sarah got fucking street smart. She's so fucking quick. You know, Allison, she might be like a soccer mom and shit, but she's smart. She's quick. The way she's thinking. Helena, she might be fucking crazy, but she's like fucking offing people. She's like military trained and shit. She's obviously super smart. You know, I love that they let these characters be smart. You know,
and the characters
Sarah
are all
doesn't
different
mess
from
up.
one another.
Yeah,
in ways that are really interesting. And Tatiana Maslany, she is an incredible actress. Like, holy shit,
incredible.
She carries this show on her back, and it is
literally
fantastic. The way she, like, the nuances that she captures between all the different characters is very impressive. I feel like
it's so crazy.
People talk about James McAvoy in Split and like, oh, he played 77 different characters. And it's like, did he really? He played like 3 different
they're all like
ones.
Exaggerated like caricatures, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And he did great.
He did a great job.
But this they're all real people.
Yes.
They're not caricatures at all.
Real. She makes them feel lived in. She makes these characters feel different. It is like she filmed 3 separate movies or whatever number of clones there are, different movies as different actors. And I was like, this is acting. Like a lot of times I'll watch a movie with like The Rock or Kevin Hart. And I'm like, okay, you're not acting. You are being yourself and you're saying different words that are just written. And there is an amount of acting that goes into it for sure. I've seen worse actors, but
Sure.
when you see stuff like this, you're like, holy shit, this is what it means to be an actor.
Yeah. She got nominated for an Emmy for the 3rd and 4th and 5th season, I think.
Yeah.
But she's won awards for this part, obviously. But I think the coolest thing about it is, spoiler alert, I'm sure you can guess, more clones show up and she has to do even more and more, and they interact together even more.
Oh yeah.
At no point am I ever questioning, am I looking at Tatiana? At no point ever. I'm always like, that's Allison. That's Sarah.
Yes.
That's Kazmina.
Yes.
I'm always like that. And the best part, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What's the best part?
The best part is because of the nature of the show, it's the fucking Parent Trap over and over again. She keeps playing one of the clones acting like someone else, and she always nails it. How does she nail being Allison portraying Sarah?
Yes.
How does she nail being Sarah portraying Beth? How does she nail that?
It's impressive. I was going to say that, like, there are so many instances where she is the only character on screen, and you forget that. You forget that. You're like, oh, they must have cast like someone else. I don't know. It's just so well done. She's in a room talking to herself and like killing it, right? Like, so much of acting, they're like, oh, acting is reacting. You need to like play off your partner. She doesn't fucking have a scene partner. She's by her damn self and she's killing
she does have a scene partner. They just cut that person out and then replace
I know. Yes. But still, even then, it's still hard to do. You
100%.
know? Unless you have a character or an actor with like good quality that can also hold up in the scene, you know?
Yeah, I feel like they probably did the kind of thing where the body double is like a very consistent scene partner, good person. You know, it's got to be, because she's doing such a good job. I'm sure, and all the people behind the scenes doing stuff and effects and everyone.
But are they as good of an actor as Tatiana? Huh?
Honestly, no.
Probably not.
I'm sure now you know that she's cast as She-Hulk.
Yes.
Very
excited for.
She can obviously carry a show.
Oh,
she carried this one 6 times.
Yeah. And also the two personalities. I mean, not that, like, what's her name? Jennifer Walters? Jennifer?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. She's not that, like, She-Hulk is that different.
But there's definitely 2 distinct personalities.
There's nuance between the 2 personalities, and that's going to be really interesting to see, because I think she could do it.
I think so too. I think it's going to be really great. I'm really excited about that.
Me too.
So then you find out she's a cop. She ends up having I love the thing that this show does really well. Obviously, a lot of things, but I love the fact of, like, it has no problem giving you the amount of information that the people would say in that moment.
Yes.
At no point are they info dumping, because Art shows up as her partner and she's like, oh my God, what's going on? We got to go to the station. Let's go. And she and us are like, why? What's happening? I don't know. What's at the station? Huh?
Yeah.
And you're like filled with this anxiety. The one that Sarah has, the anxiety she has.
I like shows where the character doesn't know what's going on and neither does anyone else. Because a lot of times what happens is, like, with an anime or something, you have the protagonist who doesn't know anything, and then other people will constantly be info dumping. So that way they can teach the protagonist about the world or whatever it is that the characters are watching. But you don't need that. I like when everyone's confused. If everyone's confused, let me be confused too. I want to discover as they're discovering. I don't want to have things explained to me.
And also something like Captain Marvel, where the main character's confused, but we're not confused. We know what's going on.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting the whole movie for them to catch up. Yes. And that's boring.
That's boring as fuck. That's the worst version of that. Yeah.
ReZero did this well. Where everybody's talking in as they would normally talk, even though the main character's like, I don't understand what's going on. I have no idea.
Yeah, and they explain stuff to him sometimes, but it never feels like too much.
No. And I love this thing where she's like, they right away with the cop thing, she's on suspension for killing a civilian.
Yes.
And the day that he brings her back is the day that she's got to testify in front of the people.
She's like, I don't even know what happened. I don't know what like what's going on. She's really smart, because she immediately starts shoving soap down her throat.
So smart.
So that way she can force herself to throw up.
She does these little things all the time where I'm like, you're fucking smart.
Yeah, totally. You're like, you are resourceful. And I like that a lot. This the whole show follows her. Well, I guess that would be a spoiler.
What, of Sarah?
Yeah.
Sarah's the main character, yeah.
Okay, cool.
We obviously go, like, there's obviously times where, like, we go and follow Allison for longer.
Of course.
We follow a new clone for longer, but
Yeah.
Sarah's the main character. And obviously, even in only these couple episodes, it's obvious that she's special somehow, right?
Yes,
Like,
of
she's
course,
like,
yeah.
she's
I
in
mean,
tune with all
I
this.
was telling this to Daron. I was like, as soon as she said she had a daughter, I was like, okay, so this is a clone show, and she has a daughter. And I feel like usually clones can't have kids or reproduce. Like, that's a thing. And so
You're too smart for your own good.
And so then I was like, okay, maybe she's special because she's the clone that could reproduce, or maybe she's not a clone. I don't know yet. But
here's the thing. Let me tell you, even just this isn't too much of a spoiler almost at all. You are correct, right? Like, you're not wrong. Obviously, you're a smart person. What you're saying is isn't incorrect. But the show doesn't keep that away from you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it presents that as being special, but lets you keep guessing why.
Yeah.
In a really fun way.
Yeah.
Like, it's you're not gonna find out at the season finale, oh, she can have a kid.
Yeah.
That means she's the blah blah blah.
Sure, yeah.
It keeps like sprinkling these nuggets and making you have more questions. Like, you know, like, obviously she's special somehow because she's able to do this, but is she the only one? Is this a clone thing? Is it a thing?
Yeah.
Who's precious? What's important? You know, and Kira ends up being like a very main focal point of the whole entire show, but for obvious, interesting reasons. At no point do I feel like, in as much of the show I watched, I feel like, oh, my time's wasted following this kid. No, the kid's charismatic and she's interesting, and obviously it's a big conceit of the show.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like there are certain things that are predictable about the show, like because
you know a lot about clone stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen clone things before. So, like,
well, Marcus, would you call yourself an expert on clone things?
I am an expert on clone things. I'm a clone.
Well, we're gonna find out today in our game. Roll the clip.
Oh my god.
Now try this trivia. Now try this trivia. Now trivia. Now trivia. Now trivia this.
And we're back, baby.
Marcus, I have a game here for you called One Clone, Two Clone, Red Clone, Blue Clone. Honestly, it's a game that we play all the time. I just really proud of the name.
Okay, I liked it.
I have here 10 pieces of media from TV, movies, books about clones. Some of these are real. Some of these I made up.
Okay.
Your 2 possible points. If you can guess, you're going to guess if it's real or fake. And then if it's real, tell me what it is. And if it's fake, tell me what made up thing I called it.
Okay.
Possibility
easy.
For 20 points.
Easy. Number 1.
Now that I say that,
the X-Men. Number 2.
Wow.
Star Wars.
Okay,
Number 3.
All right, Marcus. Don't be an ass. Wait a second. All right. You ready?
Yeah. What's up?
And just to make this as hard as I could, because I actually do think you're going to get most of this, I wrote the synopsises.
Okay, that's good.
All right. So, number 1.
I don't think I'm going to get these.
Number 1. Life's tough. How are you supposed to be good at your job, a good husband, and a good father? A clone, obviously. Too bad each clone has that exact same idea. How many clones are too many clones? Marcus, is this real or did I make it up?
This is real.
Okay, it is real.
It's a movie with Colin Farrell? No.
You know what it is. You said the wrong answer, but I know you know what it is.
Does it have Ewan McGregor in it?
Nope.
No, that's a different clone movie. Does that
I'll give you the
Nicolas
actor.
Cage in it?
You're so clear. You're just rounding. It's Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
It was a Michael Keaton back with Mr. Mommy. Like, it was like
I don't remember this
era.
one. I don't remember this one.
Multiplicity.
Oh, okay. I've never seen that one. I've never seen that.
Oh, it's funny. It's good.
Okay.
A classic Michael Keaton.
That's
okay.
Good.
Number 2. Listen, I'm just a man trying to do my job. It's not my fault there was almost an accident that killed me. Wait, why is there another me doing my job? Oh shit. That wasn't no accident. They wanted me dead. Is this real or fake?
Wait, what? They wanted me dead, but then it would be clones?
There was almost an accident, and then when he came back surviving the accident, there was another him now doing the job. Guess it wasn't an accident. I'd give you the actor, but it would be a dead giveaway, so I need you to at least guess a little bit.
Give me the actor.
Oh, wait, is it real or fake?
I was gonna say, if you could, I unless that was an on purpose way to trick me up, I'm just gonna say it's real now.
Smart. I'm smart. You guess it's real?
That would be mean. Not smart. That would just be mean if you did that.
Is it real?
I'm gonna guess real.
Yeah, it's real.
Okay. Okay. And now it's real, and the actor is going to be what's that movie? God, I want to look it up. Okay. So I actually don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. I'm gonna say Will Smith, Ewan McGregor.
This is Sam Rockwell. The movie this is kind of a spoiler. It's Moon.
What's Moon? I've never heard of that.
Oh, it's really great. It's Sam Rockwell. It's by Duncan Jones. And he is like basically like a space janitor. He's up in a space station. He takes care of stuff. And he's there for like a year, 3 years or something like that. And then he's like right before he's supposed to be sent home, there's an accident. And he just narrowly survives it. And he's not even really supposed to. But when he's there, he comes to, there's another him doing the job. And you find out throughout this film that they never intend to bring him home. The guy had signed his life away to keep getting cloned, to keep doing this job. But then keeping him happy in those 3 years, wanting to come home is what like keeps him a good worker.
Oh, shit.
So you find out every so often, I forget if it's a year, 3 years or whatever.
They kill him.
He's killed, new one's brought. He's killed, new one's brought. And then one accidentally survives. And then it's, what do you do? The conundrum.
That's awesome.
It's a great film.
That's crazy.
Great
I've never
film.
heard of that. What year is that from?
2009.
Wow. I'm going to watch that.
2009. You should. It's great. Okay, Marcus. In this animated show, it's hard being a clone, especially if you don't know which one is the original, especially if you're blackmailed by the good guys. Say, what kind of superhero show is this?
It's an animated show where the clones... What?
It's hard being a clone, especially if you don't know which one is the original.
Okay.
So the villain's the clones.
Okay. My Hero
But
Academia.
then they get... Well, you have to guess if it's
I'm gonna
real or
say
fake
true.
first. It is real.
I'm going to say true, and it's My Hero Academia.
It is... You've watched all of that show, and I'm not describing that show at all.
Yes, you are.
Is this a spoiler for the new season?
Oh, I
'Cause
guess so. I guess this is a spoiler.
I do not know about any clones in that show.
What? There's like the yes, you do. The duo guy. He makes clones of himself.
Oh. But he's not being blackmailed by the good guys.
Oh, okay, you're right. He's not being black.
Let me say this line one more time,
Okay,
Marcus.
okay.
In this animated show, it's hard being a clone, especially if you don't know which one is the original. I'm the original. No, I'm the original.
Toy Story? No.
Only the original would say that.
I have no
Clearly, I'm the
idea.
smartest because
Oh,
I'm
man,
the
I'm
original.
not getting this.
Marcus,
Nothing's
you're going to
coming
be so
mine.
mad.
I'm gonna be so mad. Which
Do you
one?
see the
what is
chat
it?
right now?
They're all going crazy. They're like, Marcus, you must know this. I don't.
Marcus.
It's not coming to mind right now.
Marcus, I bought you issue 1 for your birthday.
Invincible?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
the original.
Yes,
no,
you're
I'm the
right.
original.
It's because when you say clones,
Wow.
my mind jumps to like 20. So I'm thinking of a group of people talking to like the number in my head of clones is always high. It's not like it's one clone. So I wasn't even thinking of something with
So
one
funny.
clone in it.
That's so funny. Well, in
That's
that
good.
case, let's go to this next one, Marcus. I wonder what the record is for the most clones on screen. Well, to be fair, it is war. Someone needs to be on the front lines.
I'm gonna say yes.
That is true. You're right.
True. Yes, and
Uh-huh.
it's Star Wars, Clone Wars.
I'm sorry. It's Clone Wars. No, you didn't say it quick
I
enough.
said Star
I'm
Wars,
sorry.
Clone Wars.
There was a delay.
I
You
said
were
Star Wars,
doubtful.
Clone Wars.
It's actually Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. So you
Ah.
I'm just kidding. You got it. Good point.
Ah.
Good point.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Marcus. Paradise. At least that's where all our main characters thought they were going when they won the lottery. Turns out they won a one-way ticket for their clone asses to be harvested.
This is
Real
true.
or fake? It's real?
Yeah. This
You're
the
right, it
movie,
is
This
real.
is the movie with Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson.
It is. What is it? I saw it in theaters.
I added it to my list recently to watch it. And I was like, oh, cool. I want to watch this movie. And it's called something
To like
generic.
rewatch a movie
Like,
from your youth?
Yeah.
Kind of thing?
Yeah, because I never watched it before.
Oh, you never saw it. It's
no.
good.
So I was like, oh, I watched it. It's called like something generic, like The Sun or the like
Keep going.
Split or something.
Keep going. You're
the
right.
s-
It is the noun.
The Spirit? No, the
I will tell you,
the Sunless.
it has to do with
no.
paradise, winning the lottery. They need a boat to get there.
They need a boat. I know. I've never watched this. So tell me plot details. to
It's
help
the
me.
island.
The island. God damn it, Nick!
Sorry.
Why didn't you tell
What?
me? You want to know the perfect clue? They
What?
needed a boat to get there. Why didn't you say that?
I swear to God. I can't with you. I can't with you. Next up. It's hard. This one's hard. It's not hard. It's dumb. You ready?
Yeah.
These are all dumb. Okay. It's hard to find someone to love you, Especially, of course, if it's the kind of love that only comes from a corporation that specializes in lizard DNA who needs to keep their assets safe.
Wait, it's hard to find someone to love you.
Unless, of course, it's the kind of love that can only come from a corporation that specializes in lizard DNA who needs to keep their assets safe.
I'm going to say true.
That is true.
Jurassic Park?
Jurassic Park.
I gotta pick the Jurassic Park.
Only one of them has a clone that's not a lizard.
The new world. What's the World War II Jurassic Park Boogaloo dinosaurs?
You get it. It's Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom.
It's the most recent one. You saw it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you find out in the little girl's clone. Yeah. And that's like the conceit of the whole movie. Like you're supposed to give a shit. And you're like, this fucking dinosaurs. I don't give a shit about this little girl.
Yeah. It's so
like,
dumb. Okay, how do you feel about human clones? And it's like, I don't give a shit. Give me more dinosaurs.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
It's hard losing a child too soon. It really is. So what's a scientist to do except clone his own son? What could go wrong? Except, of course, the original son not actually being dead.
Nick, I feel like this one is fake because it's so good and I want to watch it. And I was like, wow, honestly, you've outdone yourself. But I'm going to say true.
It's fake. You're right. Thank you for the compliment.
That's a great
what
movie.
did I name it?
You named it.
You're going to make the name even better.
You named this thing long and dumb.
No, it's really short.
Honey,
3 words.
it's 3 words?
Yeah.
Well, let me say my original guess. Okay. Honey, I cloned the children.
That's not bad.
Okay, let's see. It is, you called it Clone Boy Bye.
That's not bad. That's not bad. You ready? It's Clone Me, Daddy.
That's good. That's a good one.
All right. Next up, you got, let's see, where are we? Here we are. Okay. This Christmas special is extra special because when their golden boy MIT student son can't make it home for Christmas, he decides to send a clone in his stead. But when he brings Christmas cheer way better than he ever did, he is anything but jolly.
I want to say this is fake and it's called I'll Be Cloned for Christmas.
Damn it, that's such a good name. It is fake. Oh, that's so much better than my name. Damn it. I'm going to give you a point for that name.
You didn't name it I'll Be Cloned for Christmas? That's so good.
No, it is. You want to hear mine?
What's yours?
2 for 1 Christmas special.
Oh man. Oh, that's a clip right there. That's great.
Okay, next up, there's 2 left.
Okay.
Next up, honestly, I think we're all surprised there are not more shows about historical figures being cloned. At least this Degrassi spinoff brings the angst of a teen show to the historical relevance of history class.
What? What even was that sentence?
We're surprised there's not more shows. There's not more. There's not more. We're surprised there's not more shows about cloned historical figures, right?
Yeah.
But at least this Degrassi ripoff brings the angst of a teen show to the historical relevance of having historical figures being cloned.
Is this the TV show Clone High? And it's real.
It is real and it is Clone High.
Yeah, nice. Let's go.
You got Gandhi and Abe Lincoln.
I remember
and
that
all these
show.
Things. It's a clone show. There's a lot of clone shows.
There's a lot of clone content out there.
Close shit. All right, Marcus. I think this is the last one.
Okay.
This is the last one. This one's so dumb. Okay. Being the world's greatest superhero is tough. And in a bizarre sequence of events, it gets tougher when he's cloned. But somehow the clone is mixed with nuclear stuff, and he looks nothing like our boy. Too bad this sequel was made, but at least the star got to put out his anti-nuclear weapons propaganda. Is this real or fake?
This sounds real, and it just sounds like Superman.
Which one?
3?
3's with Richard Pryor, Marcus. What's 4 called?
I've never seen it. Return.
Superman 4 Quest for Peace. Look it up right now.
Okay.
And look up Superman 4 Nuclear Man. And that is the clone of Superman.
Oh, is that Bizarro?
They didn't just do Bizarro. They did Nuclear Man.
Oh my God. Did they also do Bizarro? I feel like I remember a clip of like
from
him fighting himself
Christopher
or something.
Reeve? No.
Oh, okay.
No. Oh, sorry, Marcus. In this film, he internally fights with himself, and also fights himself. But that's like a mental like roadblock thing that happens. It's a very bad film.
I saw that clip and the whole time I thought it was Bizarro. I was like, oh, they did Bizarro in the movies.
Nope.
Interesting.
Isn't that wild?
That is wild. You
and
have
the explanation,
it right there.
and the explanation, I know it's right fucking there. The explanation is he's mixed with nuclear stuff. So that's how you get Nuclear Man. And the only reason Christopher Reeve signed on to this movie was A, the huge paycheck, but B, so he can get his anti-nuclear propaganda out there. In the beginning of this film,
not propaganda.
Yes, tomato. In the beginning of the film, Superman gets rid of all the nuclear arms in the world.
That's crazy.
Great, yeah, classic Superman thing. Guys, if you want us to do Superman 4 Quest for Peace on the podcast, honestly, I think it would be a great episode. Go suggest it on the podcast or on the Patreon.
I'm looking up I'll be cloned for Christmas to see if it's already a thing. And it's kind of like not really. There's like a script sample available that someone wrote about a clone Christmas, but it hasn't gotten filmed.
Oh my God. But the first thing to come up is him and Carol of Christmas. And I'll sing it for everyone. It says,
sing it for us.
I'll be cloned for Christmas. There'll be 3 of me. 1 to work and 1 to shop and 1 just for parties.
That works. That works.
It's there.
I want to write that movie. Guys, join the Patreon so we have more money. And we can spend it on.
Guys, if you want us to write a movie and you also want us to fund it, let us know. We will do it. Just pay us.
Okay, so back to Orphan Black. The clone content we came here for.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You got 12 out of 20 points, Marcus. You win.
Okay.
Good job.
Orphan Black. They go through. Felix also is a part of the show. We haven't talked about
Felix. Talk to me about
Sarah's
Felix.
best friend is Felix, who is her foster brother. He's like a gay artist who lives in a very nice warehouse style apartment and does drugs. But he seems like a fun guy.
He does seem like a fun guy.
He seems like he has Sarah's back and he loves her to death. Which is
I love the character of Felix because those scenes you see at the beginning of him having her back, it just gets reinforced again and again and again. He is obviously doesn't have all his shit together. He obviously is not, completely good head on his shoulders, but god damn does he love his sister.
Yes. And he's a good actor. He's very funny too.
Good actor. Yeah.
So like you said earlier, she goes into the bank and tries to get the $75,000. We also have her trying to pretend to be a cop, and she's trying to figure out what her relationship with the art is because it's confusing. Then she fakes her death with the dead body, and she has her foster brother go in and identify the body. She does the
super
hearing.
Smart.
Yeah, it's a good,
super smart.
It's a good idea. She does the hearing. She throws up, going through, and then Sarah has a boyfriend that she was trying to escape named Vic.
Oh, Vic, yeah.
He seems like a shitty guy. Maybe abusive.
You would be right about that. That
involved in drug dealing. Just overall not nice. And so he enters the frame. He comes in and just like immediately slaps the foster brother, gets in his business, and then he comes again later in the show and he's like, Sarah's dead, and he's like, prove it to me, and he doesn't believe him at all. So then he ends up taking him to the morgue. And showing the body.
Wild.
It's a great scene.
He's a fucking train wreck.
Yeah, it was a great scene. It was just so funny. She goes to her apartment, and what ends up happening is she runs into Paul, is his name?
Yeah, Paul, the boyfriend.
Who's a boyfriend who looks like a douchebag.
Yeah, he's a good actor at having that douchebag look on his face.
Yes. Maybe too good of an actor.
Maybe.
But no, he's like, she goes in and she runs into him, and he's like he's obviously like something's up there. And also whoever Beth was there before was like bad to him.
Marcus,
what's up?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you hate doing this podcast?
No, why?
Do you want our podcast to be cursed and always fail?
No.
Then why wouldn't you display Arlene?
Oh my god, she's here.
On your wall.
She's right here. Because I don't want her to move again. That was scary.
If she's not propped up and displayed prominently, I'm pretty sure you're asking our podcast to be cursed.
There she is. Hold on, let me move my microphone. Where can I?
Marcus, who is Arlene? Why do I bring up Arlene?
Arlene is the doll that we bought on another episode, the Chucky episode. our last Patreon episode. Yeah, so Arlene's the haunted doll. She's the unofficial mascot of the podcast. She's sexy as fuck. And she protects this podcast from evil.
Yes, she does. Or she's our downfall. We're not sure yet.
She might, yeah. If the podcast becomes successful, we will thank her. What's wrong?
I don't need to look. Arlene doesn't need to look.
I love it. I love Arlene. She's great.
Sorry, go on.
She guides us on the podcast journey. My mom loved Arlene a lot. She was
Really?
like, she loved the clip of Arlene, and she also just like is astounded by the fact that I have a haunted doll because she's genuinely terrified of it. It's very funny.
That's very great.
But honestly,
shout out to your mom's one time.
So far, no spooky business. What do you mean?
I don't know,
What's that face?
I don't know, Marcus. Your room smelled
Look,
like shit when you started the podcast. That's a bad
wow,
omen. And
that
you said
is
Salem
true.
had never done that before.
That is
and
true.
Arlene was not prominently put up during the podcast. I'm just saying.
Honestly,
Facts.
maybe she's only fucking with the podcast.
That's what I'm saying. You need to keep her loud and proud.
You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Arlene. Thank you so much for your hard work.
So the episode continues.
Yeah, she's trying to cover. You meet Paul. Paul's kind of weird, but he's like, Beth, like, you haven't touched me. You haven't looked at me. You're fucking like, what's going on? And all of a sudden now you're all over me and like we're having the best sex we've ever had. What the fuck happened? She just like keeps fucking bobbing and weaving and dodging all of his questions, usually with her vagina.
So then I think the great thing is during this episode, almost like it's you still don't know it's sci-fi. It's thriller. It's like who's gonna mess up her plan? Who's gonna catch her? And she keeps outsmarting the people, outsmarting them. And then the final moments of the episode happened, and you meet Katya. The German. What did you think of this moment when she showed up? What happened?
I was like, oh no, there's more. I felt like there was gonna be more. Right? Like after the first thing, it's clones. After the train thing, I assumed it was clones. This solidified that it was definitely clones. But it also, I'm glad that the show isn't, I feel like the show is long because each episode's an hour. It never feels super slow, but sometimes it feels a little slow. But at least it's giving you something every episode is so far what I'm discovering.
100%. I don't think, I mean, the seasons are 10 episodes long, so it's not like it overstays its welcome or anything.
Yeah.
I agree. Maybe it might be a little longer than we would like, than we're used to. I don't know why it can't be like 40 minutes, some of these episodes.
I agree.
But that being said, I you know, everything that does happen feels like it's in service to the characters, not the plot, you know?
Yeah.
So it's it makes sense.
This
I was
is
saying
also
during one of these episodes, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say this is also one of those shows that I feel like we got to remember that it's a TV show. It's not that like only recently did they start being like the episodes lengths are going to be whatever they need to be.
It was on TV. It was you can still see the commercial breaks when you're watching them.
Yes.
You know.
So also this episode we find out that Katya is sick. She's coughing up blood and it's like, okay, is that immediately my brain goes to, okay, the clones are fucked. Some kind of virus or something, or there's like a certain amount of time that they could be alive for, and they're discovering that now.
And then in the next episode, you get the phone call to talk to Cosmina, to talk to more of like, and it's more thriller stuff. It's more like Matrixy stuff. Like you don't know who's on the other line. You got to trust it. You got to like bury the body. You have to like try to figure out what's going on. And then you meet Allison in this next episode. You meet Cosmina in this next episode, and you meet even more clones.
Yeah, no, it's great. I feel like immediately you're getting more information, which is what you want, right? So many shows do this thing where they're like, we have information you need or want, but we as ourselves writers, we might know some of it, so we're going to save that to the end, and we don't know the rest of it, so we're going to kind of like fuck around until we have the answer. Whereas this shows, at least now, they have a certain vision for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have 5 seasons worth of vision for it to be all good, but they have a vision right now.
I think it does the thing that's like an anime does, where it's like clear they know the end game. I will say there are sections that feel like they had to add more plot points to extend things.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't quite get to the end. But as I finished up this first season, I wasn't like, they do not have a good sense of the middle, is what Daron says.
Yeah.
But I think by the time this first season finishes, you can tell that they're not like withholding too much information. Like the only information that's withheld are people's things that they are withholding, like what they want. You know, it's clear that like something's going on with Art. It's clear that something's going on with Paul. It's clear that there's more to Cosmina, more to Alice, more to Helena. But when you find out their things, it wasn't because they were keeping a secret. It's just we don't need to know it yet, you know? And then when we need to know it, the show tells us. But then the show doesn't tell us everything because you find out all these characters also don't have all the information. It's like they all come in with a piece of the puzzle. And as the show's going on, the puzzle's starting to form, but it's not like the pieces that are missing are just there in the box and we're just not getting them. We don't know where they are, you know?
Yeah.
We have to like actively search for them. It's fun.
No, that's a great way of putting it. It feels like a puzzle that you're putting the pieces together along with her. And some of the pieces I feel like you'll get faster than the show, but it won't be that much faster. That's what I like about a show. Sometimes I find myself guessing the whole plot of the show or guessing what it's going to be about. Then I'm not getting that answer until the end. Yeah. I hate that. What I do like is if your show's going to be guessable, then show me what I just said in the next episode or in the next few minutes. Because then I'm like, you're on the same page. You can relate to your viewers. You know that they probably solved it by now, or you've given enough clues for them to solve it. Move on to the next thing. Show us that, yes, you are right, or no, if you didn't get it, that's okay, because here's this part of the puzzle, but there's still more puzzle.
Totally agree. And I think that's one of the things the show nails. I don't think there's, I just finished the whole season. I didn't feel at any point, show, I know the answer. Just hurry up and let the main character know. No. It's funny. The guesses you're doing to figure it out are the same guesses Sarah's doing in the show to figure it out. And she's saying them out loud and it seems normal. Yeah. And she's like, I don't know. I think this is going on, but we can't really know until we get over there, can we? Exactly, and I'm like, you're right, Sarah. We can't. Let's go.
Let's move on.
And it totally makes sense. Yeah, let's figure it
out. The thing that I guessed also, another big one was that the killer that's going around killing the clones, because in the first episode we found out Kantia is a clone. I assumed was a clone.
It's a great point. It's, you know,
it was just like who else would be killing them right now
that we would care about, right?
That
if
we
it
would
was
care
just
about.
Joe Schmo, it'd be like, who cares?
But also all the God stuff, like the first quote or whatever after that, I was like, that sounds like something a clone would say about being angry about being a clone. And then there was just more God stuff, and I was like, all this seems very cloney to me.
Yeah, totally.
Look, just so that way that this can stay current and like aware of current issues throughout all of time.
Years when
I want to say if cloney becomes an offensive term, I apologize. I didn't mean it that way.
What do you think the politically correct term for a clone will be in 50 years?
A human being.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, Marcus.
Yeah.
Wow. You picked a side on this war.
I am pro clone. I mean, if I have to pick a stance, I'm going pro clone. I want to be cloned.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I want clones. What's wrong with clones?
Here's my thing. Listen, I know me, Marcus. I know me. And if I was a clone, I would kill the original and take their place. I know that I would do that. So if you make a clone of me, they're going to try to kill me.
Yes, you're right. Like, I truly believe that would happen, because if Joe Rogan cloned himself, he's going after himself 100% immediately.
Yeah, totally.
I get that. Spoken like someone.
You think clone you's gonna let you live, Marcus?
Never let me go. I think clones are gonna let me go. Let me live. Why I said let me go? I meant to read Never Let Me Go and I never finished it. Have you read Never Let Me Go, Nick?
No, I don't even know what it is. I'm looking it up right now. What is this?
Is it
clones?
It's a book about clones that was turned into a movie.
Andrew Garfield is in it?
I guess so. I borrowed it from Daron early in our relationship, and she took it back from me, so I never read it. And I blame her for
Carrie Mulligan, Andrew Garfield, and Keira Knightley.
Oh, I'll read it at some point. I'll get to it. Anyway, clones.
I'll watch it.
I will
watch it.
Clones, and I think that just for the sake of history, clones, future clones, I'm on your side. I'm an ally.
For the record, I am not. I am against clones. Clones can suck it. Don't clone me. This is my official statement.
Well, maybe, but you can live forever.
It's not me. My soul is different.
Oh, it's the whole soul thing again.
Oh my God. We've gone over this.
Yes, we have.
Marcus, if you let's assume nothing goes wrong.
Sure.
You're about to die.
Sure.
I clone you to your peak physical manlyhood.
Thank you.
And I say, I can copy your brain and put it in that one as you die.
I would do that every time. Every single time.
But that's not you.
10 out of 10.
That's
It is me. It is me 100%. What are you talking about?
As someone who believes in NFTs, you should know it's not you.
It is me.
It's not the NFT.
I don't like NFTs. I like cryptocurrencies. I don't like NFTs. It is me. It's because you believe that there is like a soul or some bullshit in there that you're like,
that's right.
Oh, it transfers over. Without that piece, we are not who we are. In my head, we are our brain. Everything is in our brain. And if the brain moves over to another space, then you're still you. Doesn't matter what that is. You're still you. You might not be in the same shape.
I
Just
also-
like growing old, your body changes.
You're so dumb. I also just want to, for the record of 50 years for political rightness,
Oh yeah.
I do
Hold on.
believe
Wait.
when a clone,
listening.
go ahead.
I'm listening.
When a clone is created, I do believe clones have souls. It's just a different soul than the original, which
Yes.
honestly is more pro clone than your stance, because you're over here saying they ain't got souls, they're taking my soul. No, when a thing is being created, when a human being clone is made, they get their own soul, motherfucker. They get
I
their
agree,
own goddamn
but
soul.
I don't believe in souls. Is the difference in our arguments?
You know who does, Marcus? Those clones. Those clones fighting for
Clone
human rights.
Jesus believes in.
Those clones fighting for human rights
Souls.
believe in souls, their
Okay.
own souls.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, Marcus, talk to me. Now that we're winding down here, talk to me about where you think the show's going to go. Do you have any predictions? Any like crazy things? What do you think? How do you like where we left off?
I
what
like
do you
where
think
we
is
left
going to
off.
happen, short term and long term?
I guess that was a clone. Then
Mhm.
what I liked about it was that soon afterwards we found out it was a clone. It wasn't like it was the season finale twist or anything like that.
Oh yeah, third episode.
Which would have annoyed me. Yeah, third episode.
American television. That would have been.
Mhm. I like the parts where she's adapting to Beth's life, but I wish
Oh yeah.
it was faster. I don't. I like it. I don't mind it, and I understand it. But it is the most boring part of the show.
I get that.
It's her being like, "Oh no, how do I be a cop?" And it's like, it's not like you're an astronaut. Like you're a cop.
Honestly, I find it super endearing. Every time she's like, I don't know how to put my fucking holster on.
Yeah,
I think it's
that's true.
endearing. I
There
get
are
it.
things
But
like
I
that.
understand.
That would trip you up.
Those are the things that would be cut to make it a 40-minute episode, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Yes. And that's exactly how I feel. So I don't mind it. I understand it, but it is, of all the stuff, it is the most boring stuff there.
What's next to the show? Where do you think we're going? What do you think they're trying to
is
say?
my
What do you think's happening?
guess? Okay, so I know the daughter's going to be important. That was my guess. At some point, I think that that's going to be relevant. The fact that she can have a kid, and maybe the fact that she could have a kid also makes the kid just interesting. There is someone who did this, and I don't know who, what, where, when, or why. I feel like normally what you want to do is be like, it was like the original person who's just trying to clone themselves for whatever reason. And then they made a bunch of clones. Except it didn't, like, I don't know, it backfired, or they had a plan or something. Like they have a plan for the clones. Or it could just be an evil corporation that's just like, we made clones to see what would happen. And there's an expiration date. So we just assumed that you would all die, but you didn't. And now I don't know, or like or you are dying, but like one of you isn't, or you solved the riddle and we still need you to die. I don't know what the fuck's happening. I think more clones are going to get introduced. It's going to get a lot more complicated, and there's going to be some kind of evil entity behind it. That's all I got.
I don't even know how the whole show ends up. I do know some crazy shit that happens in the next couple seasons, but I do not know at the end point what happens. The show has continued in an audio podcast.
I saw that when I was looking it up. I was trying to do a picture for the stuff today, and then I saw that it had a podcast. That's interesting. It delves into their personal lives, and you find out a little bit more about, like, that's it? It's just personal lives?
What do you mean?
I don't know. What is the show? What is the podcast about? Them talking?
I have no idea. I haven't finished the show, so
interesting.
Hard to say.
Oh, yes. They talk. It says they talk about life now that they've gone public. So I guess at some point during the show they go public with them being clones.
Oh, spoilers! Damn.
That's
Marcus,
cool.
that is Orphan Black.
Yeah, I feel like I want to talk a little bit more about the like just the great acting.
Yeah.
Everyone in the show does a great job. I really, really am enjoying. The writing is good. I think the pacing is solid, but the pacing feels like a TV show, which modern TV shows don't necessarily follow anymore. That being
feels
said,
a little like a British TV show.
Exactly, yeah. Before a
like
show,
a Luther or a Sherlock.
Yes. Before a show
not
that
bad.
was
It's
made almost 10 years ago, pretty good.
Yeah, this is true.
Pretty good.
Would
It
be
holds
definitely
up.
made differently now.
It holds up.
I think, I think it's so crazy I almost was about to be here and rave more about the writing, the acting as well, and about to go character by character, but it's all Tatiana. She's doing it all.
She really does a great job. She portrays all the different characters, and the ability that she has, and I know there were stand-ins or whatever, but like the ability that she has to act by herself is is amazing because it's not the
Yeah.
same. It's a different kind of acting.
Agreed. It's wild. It's super impressive. I'm so excited for She-Hulk. We got our first look, which was just like a 1 second thing. We also got a first look of Moonlight, which looks fucking dope.
Moon Knight, it looks interesting.
Oscar Isaac, come on. It's gotta be
He can do
cool.
anything. It's gonna be good.
He can do it. I think they're leaning in and really making him like a fucking schizo.
Yeah,
Sorry, that's
that's
inappropriate. Schizophrenic. That's true.
You're right. It is. I know
it's a diagnosable thing that real people have.
Yeah, no, I know. But it looks good. I'm excited for it. The series finale is good. Okay.
Yeah,
but
I'm
I'm excited for
it.
Moon Knight. I'm excited for a lot of stuff coming out. I think she's gonna do a great job. And I hope that they don't like kind of toss her character aside. I want more integration with the MCU, and she would be perfect for that. Especially since we're not getting
going to
Hulk
happen
movies.
because didn't we get a little hinkling that there might be?
We keep getting that. We keep getting
Well,
little
Hulk
like,
movie
oh,
coming
Hulk
out.
movie. And then it goes away.
Oh, Hulk movie release date, June 17, 2003.
You got me for a second.
Yeah. Hold on. For years, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
it was a report.
always,
It was a report. It was a leak.
Yeah,
that there might be a World War Hulk movie.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense, I guess. But it's stupid to do World War Hulk without the thing that causes World War Hulk.
Well,
something else tragic would need to happen, I guess.
Yeah, it totally could happen.
He gets sent
Totally
to another, but he can't get sent to another planet by the Avengers.
Why not?
Because they already did his storyline in Thor Ragnarok. I don't want to see it again. Him becoming a gladiator.
Oh, maybe it has to do with multiverse stuff then.
Okay, maybe. Oh, different Hulks from different walks of life.
Here's the thing. Let me throw this at you. This has almost nothing to do with what we're talking about. In the 3-second trailer of She-Hulk, Mark Ruffalo isn't Professor Hulk. He's Mark Ruffalo with a cast on his arm when he messed up with the gauntlet.
Okay.
He was Professor Hulk for all of Endgame, Marcus. Something happened. Maybe World War Hulk doesn't have anything to do with that. They're just taking the title, and it is what we are asking for, where it's Mark Ruffalo versus the Hulk.
Maybe. That would be interesting.
That's an apt title for that kind of film.
I don't know if I would watch that.
Yes, you would. You fucking MCU
I love the
zombie.
Hulk.
You would fucking watch
I'm not an MCU zombie. I'll skip movies.
Which ones have you skipped?
I skipped Iron Man 3 and
you skipped Iron Man 3?
I skipped Thor 2.
Conveniently, the worst two of the franchises.
I skipped them. I sensed it.
You just knew it.
I was like, this looks bad, and I just didn't watch it.
You didn't skip Captain Marvel.
That's true. I was optimistic for that one.
Honestly, that's my least favorite one.
I don't know if it's. Ooh, I
hate
would
women,
have.
So
I would have to think about it and see which one was my least favorite one. But it is down there for me.
It's
it is down there for
100%.
me. It's down there.
So okay. So anyway, Orphan Black. Any other thoughts you want to say about it?
Okay.
It was so good. You feel like you wanted to say more, but there's just not too much
honestly,
to say because we only watched 3 episodes.
Yeah. It feels like three long episodes. So 3-hour episodes.
But it's
it
a
felt
slow
like
drip.
a lot,
so,
but it's a slow drip. Yeah, I could have done a little bit more. They could have had a little bit more, or cut down so we could have watched more.
I don't disagree.
But other than that, I think it's a fantastic show. All the stuff is really well written, and it makes sense.
94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It all bleeds into each other in the like perfect way that you want it to.
The first season has 94% Rotten Tomatoes. Season 2 has 97% Rotten Tomatoes. Season 3 is 85. Season 4 has 97. Season 5 has 95. That's impressive.
That's great.
That's impressive.
That's impressive considering I feel like a lot of people keep saying like, oh, there's parts where the quality dips.
Well, in the middle, that's season 3 right there.
Yeah.
I think that's where I watched.
Huh. That's what you watched until when you first watched it?
I think it's just the mythology of the show gets really big. Right.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Just like every show like this, when you're adding it, it goes like this before it goes like this, right?
Yes.
And I think it probably starts to do this in the 4th and 5th season, but at the beginning it just goes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I'm just like, this is too big. This is too big.
It's too much. You know, it's too much. Okay, I understand that. I understand that. That's how Dune feels. Dune feels like it's just like
as you're reading it.
Yeah, and you're like, okay,
yeah.
I learned about Dune.
Some of these
I learned about Arrakis. I learned about Paul Atreides. I learned about all this stuff. And then it's like, okay, but also there's like this intergalactic enemies around looking to destroy everybody. And like, also you can transfer your consciousness through time and space. That's fine.
What?
Exactly. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Fuck that. Fuck those books. I'll watch the movies. Give me some
Denis
popcorn. I'll watch the
Villeneuve
movies.
doing a great job. Okay. Nick,
Marcus, anything else you'd like to say?
That's it. That's all.
Marcus, did you like Orphan Black?
Nick, I did like Orphan Black. I thought it was great. I thought
Yes,
it was a
I
really
also
well written
liked it.
show. It was well acted.
It's just interesting.
I want to watch it.
It's just firing at all cylinders. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's just like a
Yes.
top notch. Everyone came to play.
Yeah.
You know. Second question is: are you going to continue to watch Orphan Black?
I am going to continue to watch Orphan Black. There are a lot of high concept TV shows that I feel like are pitched, but they always boil down to being like, oh, it's a buddy cop show, but with robots, or oh, it's this, but with this. And this show, I think, like you said earlier, kind of posits a situation and then extrapolates from there. And I like that a
I
lot.
think I usually actually avoid sci-fi TV shows overall. Like I haven't watched The Expanse or Foundation or Lost in Space or Source 8 or
Sense 8.
fucking Sense or even Sense 8. Because I usually have a problem with sci-fi shows. They just feel like they're so languishy and they're so like highbrow that they go so slow. But I think the reason this works, because it still does all those things that those shows do. It is kind of highbrow. It is kind of high concept. I really think it's Tatiana. She really grounds the show. It's so grounded, even though it's so high concept. There's so much going on. When Tatiana's on screen, when she's being one of the clones, I buy it. I buy it. They're like human problems. Like, you know, as you could guess, what kind of problems would a soccer mom have in the suburbs if she found out she was a clone? You know, like it really deals with those things, which is really interesting. I think those are the things that keep the shows going. Because honestly, for me, sci-fi, I like sci-fi, but only when it focuses on characters. I don't give a shit about the concept. Like Orphan Black is good, but I don't care who made the clones. I care about how the clones are affected by them being humans. That's the cool stuff. You know?
I always feel like that is the thing with also thrillers and mystery shows, and what kind of like the problem Lost had was sometimes you don't need a like in-depth explanation of the mystery, and you also don't need to be creating mysteries for mystery's sake, which I feel like this show doesn't do, which is nice.
No, I think all the mysteries show up as very apparent. My girlfriend loved this show. We've already watched the whole first season, and I am imagining we're gonna continue to watch.
Good. And you go,
so that's exciting.
Get past season 3 this time?
I think so. I want to know. Oh, she just said in the chat, I said, yes, we're finishing. Almost like she's yelling at me. Don't yell at me on the podcast, Lexi. That's embarrassing. God.
Call him and yell at him now.
Last question. Would you recommend this show?
I would recommend the show. I think it's a little slow, but I also think most television is a little slow. And there are a lot of people with free time on their hands that could watch the show instead of something else.
I think there's a lot of sci-fi shows that are easy passes just because, you know, what is this one adding? Because there's just so many of them. There's so many, like the 100, the humans, the ghosts, the faces, the this, the this. There's just so many. Like there was La Brea is being advertised right now. It has something to do with the tar pits, some dystopian future shit. I don't fucking know. Remember that other sci-fi show where like electricity came off and it was just people like walking across the country? There's just so many of these shows, right?
Yes. I remember.
You know, why Orphan Black? I would agree with you. I would suggest it. And again, I think it's because even though it's high concept, even though it's sci-fi, it's very grounded. It still feels like a mystery whodunit, a thriller. It rests its laurels on those things. It doesn't lean into the sci-fi aspects. It leans into the human thriller, the interesting high aspects. It doesn't like, oh, don't you care how clones are made? And we're like, no, I don't give a fuck, dude. They're clones. It's fucking sci-fi. They're clones. I don't care.
Yeah, you tell me that there's clones and a company made them, I believe you. I don't need to know how.
Easy.
I don't care about the science. Like the science exists now. Like you can clone a human if you wanted to.
100%. They could clone.
It's just illegal. Is the problem?
1,000%. Yeah. Would it go well? Would they nail it the first time? No.
You're gonna have crazy monster clones. That's fine.
That's fine.
That's okay.
They still have a soul.
Yeah. I feel like I am pro clone, but I'm anti clone because I feel like people are just gonna breed them so that way they can get organs and stuff. Like the movie The Island.
I'm looking at fucking sci-fi shows, and there's just so fucking many. Fucking Travelers, Raised by Wolves, Intergalactic, Next, Dark, fucking Manifest.
They're bad.
Altered Carbon, Salvation, Away, Humans, Black Mirror is very good. Glitch, Daybreak. You know, there's just so fucking many.
It could have easily
miss
been
them
one
all.
of those. It could have easily been one of those. That's why I didn't watch it. I think that's honestly why I didn't watch Orphan Black, because it was just seemed like all these other shows, and I was like, I don't want to watch another like generic sci-fi show.
Invasion, Impulse. Guys, if I'm naming one of your favorite shows, please let us know. It's hard to see through the noise.
Yeah.
We don't have time to watch mediocre shows. Like I remember watching on Hulu that show about witches.
Yeah.
Where it was like witches are real from Salem, but what if instead of killing them all, the government recruited them?
Yeah.
Great concept. Cool concept. Super interesting. I watched for 3 episodes. I was like, this show sucks.
Yeah.
You know,
we don't have time.
The Magicians. Cool concept. It's cool. It's like Harry Potter for adults. Watch some of it. Then I'm like, I got it. It's done. You know?
Yeah. Sabrina.
But if we were missing
liking
some
Sabrina TV show. Riverdale.
I never liked it.
Yeah, it's true.
Riverdale's first season is a great first season of television, I think. Then you don't have to watch any more.
Terrible.
Yeah, but like in the best way. Like not like a recipe for seduction.
Yes.
Like it was bad, good, bad, you know?
Yeah.
But guys, if I did say no one of your favorite shows, I am sorry. Give it to us on the Patreon, just like this episode, and we will try it. I would love for another sci-fi show. I would love that.
Let's fucking go. I'm excited. I love doing the Patreon episodes because of this, because we get stuff that we wouldn't necessarily try. I would not have watched this if it wasn't for the Patreon. So thank you for that. Nick, I mean, I was going to ask you all stuff, but I feel like you loved all this content, right?
Well, yeah.
You loved all the content, so it's not like I have to ask you the same questions. Will you continue watching? But
no, and I said them. Yeah, I'm going to continue watching. Where I would totally suggest it. I love the show.
There you go,
Marcus. Everybody who would like to be involved next month in January and the new year. Now Try This coming to you in a new year.
Woo!
Go to patreon.com/now try this cast. Join the Patreon. Give us your suggestions and join the voting pool. Guys, we are trying to get to a certain number so we can get stickers.
Let's go. Let's get those stickers, baby. I mean, hey,
but next week,
sweatshirts, it could be more if more people join.
We would love that. Marcus, next week is the 9th. Because we record these episodes live Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/now try this cast. Yeah. What are we doing next week? It's your challenge, my boy.
Nick, I told you before, and I told the people that I am going to give you the video game Inscription.
My goodness.
I want you to, ideally, I want you to beat the first act, but.
Okay, I'll figure out what that means.
They're long. I beat it. I beat the whole thing. And in total, it took me 15 hours. But I don't even want you to beat the whole thing. I don't need you to beat the whole thing. I just want you to get to maybe the first act, which I would say, I don't know how many hours that is. It depends on how good you are at the game, too.
Oh.
Someone was saying they beat the whole game in 9 hours. And I was like, well, I took 6 extra hours than that guy, so I don't know what happened.
Sounds like I am beating this game in about 6 hours, and I'm amazing. God, Marcus, you said this was a puzzle game and a card game. I'm the best at both of those things. Watch out, world. The new Inscription speedrun coming your way.
I also highly recommend everyone out there listening, go watch some videos of people playing Inscription or play it yourself. It is fun. The community is fun too. It's really interesting.
Oh, yeah. Cool. All right. Well, guys, you can get at us everywhere at Now Try This Cast. Get our podcast everywhere you get podcasts. Leave us 5-star reviews on iTunes. Now Try This Cast. Go to nowtrythiscast.com to find all our socials and to join that Patreon at patreon.com/Now Try This Cast.
Woo! We did it. That was an episode.
We sure did.
We fucking did it. And honestly, a great episode. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10
Calling it before it's even out.
Calling it before it's out. Great episode.
This was the one, guys. This was the one to watch. Can't beat it.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining the stream. Remember to subscribe using your Amazon monthly free subscription on Twitch. If you haven't already, it's a completely free way to support the podcast. We're almost close to getting our first payout on Twitch. It's been a long time, but keep joining. It helps us out so much.
Love it.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for enjoying the stream, and good night.
Good night.
Friends get together so they can try things. How about it? It's podcast so that you can try things. Now we will stop singing so that we can all now try this.
Okay, I'm gonna start the song again. The song is starting now.
for about one song's length.
The song is starting. The song is starting. The song is starting now. Ooh, ooh. Gotta do the Mariah Carey falsetto.
You're killing it. I'm far from the mic because I'm leaning back. My neck hurts. You are so talented.
How high does your voice go? Oh my God. You sound like a kid stuck in another dimension. Like, I hope you, I wish you could hear the audio that I'm hearing, because you sound like a kid that's stuck in a CRT TV.
Oh.
That was crazy. That sound was wild.
How low can you go?
I feel like we're doing good harmonizing.